On today's show, the Yamaha Australian Off-road Championship presented by MX Store kicks off the 2022 season at Cherrabah in Queensland. After wild weather across the state, the conditions are challenging to say the least. Then it's to Mugello, Italy, for round 2 of the hand-cooked 24-hour series. This is Speedweek.
Hi, I'm Kate Peck and welcome to the 2022 Yamaha Australian Off-road Championship presented by MX Store. AORC is as wild, technical and tough as it gets, and that is why we have produced some of the world's greatest off-road racers, winning things like the International 6-Day Enduro, taking out the title of World Endurance Champion, and of course, winning Dakar. AORC work? Well, this sport is one of the most unique off-road racing championships in the world, with 3 race formats: sprint, enduro and cross-country, with multiple classes of varying engine capacity and competitor age. And this weekend we have an excellent turnout with over 300 riders.
Hi, I'm Blake Hollis, I ride for Shop Yamaha on board a WR250F in the E1 category.
I'm Jeremy Carpentier. I ride for the Yamaha JGR Ballard Off-road team on the WR250 in the E1 class.
Hey, I'm Corey McMahon riding for Gas Factory Enduro team on a XC250 in the E1 class.
I'm Kyron Bacon, I ride for the Shop Yamaha off-road team and I ride the WR250F and I'm in the E1 class.
So the setup this year is really exciting. I'm moving across to the factory side of the team and working alongside Mick Carusi as my mechanic, so one of the best in the business.
Competition's pretty strong in the E1 category this year, feeling confident than ever, and we'll see how it goes. It's a long season.
Between Corey, Kyron, Blake, myself and a few others, it's going to be tight racing, so it's going to be interesting to watch.
Got a fair bit of competition this year, like a fair few people around my age, so it'll be good to battle around with everyone, and I think it'll be some tight racing.
A bunch of 7 riders or so that can be up the top. It'll be good racing and it'll keep it all close, and hopefully the championship's close at the end of the year. Like, that's what everyone wants to see, so yeah, look forward to a good year.
I'd like to win, if not podium for the year, and yeah, hopefully just build on what I was last year.
I guess that's everyone's goal. Like, I think there's a few fast boys in the E1 class this year, and everyone's going to win the championship, because that's what we're here for.
Not sure the goal would be to get the championship at the end of the year, but I'm just keen to get back at it.
What's up, guys? I'm Todd Waters. We're here racing for Max's Husqvarna Australia racing team, and I'll be competing on the FE450 in the E2 class.
I'm Josh Green. I ride for Shop Yamaha on board a WRF 450 in the E2 category.
I'm Fraser Higlet. I'm on the Beta Enduro team. I'm racing the Beta RR430 racing in the E2 class.
Hey, I'm Michael Driscoll. I ride for the Shop Yamaha off-road team. I'm racing the WR450 in the E2 category.
So for 2022, the new team is a different structure. Husqvarna have handed us the reins. So it means a lot more personalising things for myself because I'm running the program.
Racing E2 again this year, it's a really competitive class. It's always usually the main class, and on board the same bike as last year. We've been working a little bit with some testing, and I'm really comfortable. The bike's really good, and all the new product's amazing.
Back with the Shop Yamaha Off-road team for the 5th year. Yeah, got a really good crew together again, got some new teammates, and yeah, pretty happy with all the riders on the team, and I think we're all going to get along and make some good racing out of it.
So for 2022, the E2 class I feel is super competitive. You know, the Yamaha boys are going to be really fast. In a nutshell, most manufacturers make a 450, so I feel like this is the premier class to try and get, and that's what we want to win.
Super stoked to go racing. I'm excited to be back, and hopefully it's a good year for me.
Yeah, I really want to win. Beat all these guys.
I want to win.
I'm Andy Wilkes. I'm racing for the Simford Motorsport Husqvarna team on a FE 501 Husqvarna in the E3 category.
Stefan Granquist. I ride for the KTM Off-road team on an EXC 500 in the E3 class. I'm Jonty Reinders. I ride for the Modal Pirelli Cherrabah race team. I ride a Cherrabah 300 two-stroke in the E3 class.
So this year's looking pretty good. Like, we've got a pretty stacked field, all the classes, especially here in E3. Got some really good competition this year, which I'm looking forward to mixing up with those boys.
So I've switched it up from E2 going into E3 class for 2022, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's a lot of fast guys in there, and obviously trying to do really well and be at the pointy end. My goals and expectations for the 22 season would be to win the E3 class. That's our ultimate goal.
Everyone seems to be on a level playing field, and yeah, I think that'll bring some really exciting racing to follow.
Hi, I'm Jess Gardner. I ride for the Yamaha JGR Ballards Off-road team. I will be on board my WR250F in the EW class.
My name is Emily Carlson and I ride for KTM Off-road team, and I'm on a KTM EXC 350 and I ride in the EW class.
But the women will still keep fighting strong, and we still give it to a lot of the boys out there, and we want to make all the women proud and keep this EW class developing.
Of course, going to try my hardest to take the win this year. We're feeling super good on the new bike, so hopefully I can take the top step again.
I think I'm very hungry. From last 2 years we've missed out on a lot, so I've definitely got a lot of people to make proud, and especially myself, so I'm ready.
This year we kick things off in the mountainous adventure playground that is Cherrabah, Queensland. Cherrabah sits 2.5 hours southwest of Brisbane, overlooking the picturesque Elbow Valley and the Great Dividing Range.
This weekend, here days 1 and 2 will include some creek crossings, natural Aussie bush, I guess. The tracks haven't been prepped in any way, so they're rough, challenging, lots of water crossings, lots of water on the track. The mud's going to be a challenge for everyone, the sinkholes. All in all, going to be a tough event, but a great way to get back into racing.
It's going to be busy. We hit the ground flat out with the sprint formats for both rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah, so a sprint format is basically a series of tests that we run for the day that can run anywhere between 8 and 12 minutes. And the riders really have to run at 120% because they've only got 8 minutes to do the best that they can. They can't afford to make any mistakes, because if you make one mistake on an 8-minute section, all of a sudden it's 8 minutes 30 and you go from 1st to 15th straight away. So it's really crucial that the riders are putting in 110%, but then also being cautious enough that they don't crash and do something silly.
All right, Josh, give me your initial impressions after that sight lap.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. The layout's really cool, and they've done a really good job. But like just random sinkholes, like some of the sections you come around and there was just people stuck already, like siding lap. And then like the first bit's a little boggy. Once you get up on the hill, you're like starting to flow, and you're like, yeah, this is really good. And you'll come in the corner and someone's just bogged, and it's literally like a metre or two of bog, and then it's dry again. So it's going to be really hard to get a flow. And then just to be on them, like you've got to be watching, just be like, oh, muddy, hang on, move, like can't be on the main line. So, and I think they're going to get worse and more will come out through the day. So,
big ruts, big holes,
big mud holes, and they don't look too bad. And you ride into them and you just stop, and then it's just like water up over your back wheel, and then you're spraying all over your head and down your back, and yeah, everything's going to get wet. I mean, we're in Queensland and we've got roll-off set up, so that's saying something. But yeah, it's just sinkholey and just too much water in the ground.
Yeah, I done the sight lap. I went pretty late, which is lucky, so I could see all of this stuff in front of us here. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to sort of get through. Like if you get stuck, you're throwing the test away. So it's one of them things. You be a bit smarter, not as quick, but we'll see how we go. It's definitely going to be a mental game throughout today.
How are you feeling? We are about to take off for round one.
Yeah, really good. Should be interesting. Pretty wet out there, but no, we'll try and get around the best we can.
Mate, you're back in a big way on a beater. Are you pretty pumped to get round one started?
Yeah, no, real pumped to get out there. Bit nervous, but I mean, I think everyone's going to be pretty nervous. First weekend, we'll get out there, see where we are, and make changes when we need to after.
That's Fraser Higler. We're all excited to have you back on the grid, my friend. Bye.
Cheers.
I got two of the three fastest women here racing at the AORC, Jess Gardner and, of course, Benny Nielsen. Benny, so we didn't have you last year, but it's great to see you on the bike. Are you taking part this year in the series completely, or are we just seeing you at a few rounds?
To begin with, I'll definitely be doing the first 6 rounds along with the Queenslands, and then we'll just see how we go from there. I'm trying to pack as much racing as we can in this year, so yeah, see what happens.
And what do you think about the track out there? It's getting pretty cut up by the sounds of it, by all the seniors that are going through before you.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of riders through before us. We're starting towards the end today for the first lap, so yeah, the track's going to be totally different to what we did out in practice, so I think there'll be some pretty deep mud out there today, but see how it goes.
And can your bike handle it? What are we riding?
So I've got a KTM 300, so it's my first year on a 300, so yeah, I reckon it can handle it.
So we've moved up in capacity.
Yeah, we've come off a 250 last year, so yeah, onto the 300, so it's got plenty of power for me, so.
Excellent stuff. Well, we can't wait to see you at the finish line. Good luck.
Beautiful, thank you so much.
It was a stacked lineup for the opening weekend with nearly 300 riders entered. After wild weather across the state, the conditions are challenging to say the least. With low visibility and enough mud for days, our riders had one tough weekend on the bike. The conditions put every rider to the test with plenty of crashes and mistakes made by even our top riders. Our seniors tackled 2 tests each day, the Ballards MX Store and Beta, for another day of grueling sprints. Today's E1 podium was quickly established by Shop Yamaha's Kyron Bacon, Gas's Corey McMahon and Yamaha JGR Ballard's off-road team Jeremy Carpentier in first, second and third place respectively. Blitzing one massive trail today with the fastest overall time of 1:24.40. This demon behind the handlebars has definitely set the standards high moving forward.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wasn't expecting that one for sure. I've had a fair bit of off-season this year, so it's good to come back to the first race and get an outright. But track was similar to Tassie too, so it was definitely a little bit in my favour, which is good. And it's still another day tomorrow, so anything can happen, so we'll see what happens.
McMahon finished today with a total time of 1:28.19, ahead of Carpentier on 1:29.28.
Yeah, super stoked with the bike and the people I'm working with this year. The bike's working unreal thanks to Josie and Ash at Choice Suspension. The mechanic Nick has absolutely done an awesome job all day. Bike's been on song.
Bacon's teammate Blake Hollis made good time throughout today's racing but couldn't crack into the top three. He finished just behind Carpentier on 1:30.16. There was plenty of action in E2 today, as Beta Racing's Fraser Higlett, Husqvarna's Todd Waters and Shop Yamaha's Michael Driscoll fought to secure their spots on the podium. Josh Green remained well ahead of the pack today, demonstrating his long-serving prowess in enduro, finishing with a total time of 1:26.
Yeah, it's a stacked class, and yeah, it's hard to know where you're going to be at coming into the year, but I've been training pretty hard and I was just excited to go racing. So, and the track was brutal today. It was so easy to make mistakes and get stuck and things like that. So to come out on top for the day, I'm pretty pumped and excited for tomorrow.
After hours in the saddle, the remaining two podium spots were clinched by Driscoll and Waters, with respective times of 1:28.20 and 1:28.22.
Oh yeah, you just clipped a few trees today, one of many. Just happy to escape the first round in one piece, and yeah, definitely didn't lose the championship in the first round, but yeah, so I'm just happy to be healthy. Yeah, look, that was the toughest and most difficult conditions I've ever rode. The first time I've actually ever got bogged in mud and water. Look, it was pretty good fun, besides all the mud, so it was good.
Yeah, we landed on the box, which I'm stoked about, but Kate, I can't explain how gnarly that track is out there. It's a piece of work, that's for sure. I've got a brand new jersey on, I've got holes in it everywhere. I was clipping trees, I was almost going over bars and everything. I've never actually put both feet down and paddled before till today, so I was having a hard time, but the last few tests I started to make up a little bit of time. I started to feel a bit comfortable, so it's kind of bummed that they cut it at 4 tests, but the day was dragging out, so I understand. So tomorrow, new day. I don't know how we're going to go. I think I need a few months of practicing this stuff, but hats off to the boys. They rode insane, and I look forward to challenging them for the rest of the championship.
Wilkes has definitely solidified his petition for top spot in E3 this season, comfortably landing in first place with a total time of 1:25.55. The Husqvarna mounted rider remained ahead of the pack today, building a lead time of just over 1 minute.
Yeah, stoked to be able to bring it home in the end there. As probably people have been saying, the track deteriorated a hell of a lot, so it was key thing was just to keep the bike on 2 wheels and minimise those mistakes, and luckily we were able to still put in some good times and be competitive towards the end. So that was a massive goal tick for me, and good feeling to be competitive and back over here in Australia racing. So.
Second place was awarded to Sherco's Jonty Reinders with a total time of 1:27.27.
Yeah, my day wasn't too bad. I think in the tests that I stayed on, I was pretty well like third outright every time, but then I had 2 tests where I had a crash and lost a fair bit of time, unfortunately, but yeah, we're still pretty happy with today's result.
Third place was clinched by KTM's off-road racing Stefan Grunquist, rounding out bronze with a time of 1:29.36.
Started off pretty solid, and then I guess trying to roll on and progress from there, and had a few little hiccups, and ended up actually coming down in one of the really muddy sections, and when I fell, my hand hit a rut, and it seems like I've busted the ligament in the thumb, and yeah, and I had an infection in my arm that's been going on for this week from work sort of thing, so a few little things to battle, but overall my riding's been good. I've been happy with how I've been riding. I think that what we've done in the off season's really worked, and the new bikes, like for me, is really, really good, so I'm happy with that. So apart from the hiccups, I'm pretty happy.
Over in EJ, Hagi and Riley McGilvray on the KTM tango for that coveted spot. After 6 laps though, Hagi came out victorious with an impressive lead of nearly 40 seconds. Hagi finished today with a total time of 1:31.45.
Yeah, for sure. The tracks were super tough today, and yeah, they were really hard to not crash and make mistakes. So basically just tried to be as smooth as I could without making mistakes or crashing, and then just be consistent over the day. And yeah, it's just good to be in P1 for the start of the season, and really puts me in a good spot for the rest of the year.
McGilvray took second place ahead of William Dennett and Campbell Hall with a total time of 1:32.23.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. A slow start, obviously, this morning. I went over the bars and had a few little, made a few too many mistakes in the mud and bog holes, but yeah, the 500 was not too bad today. Bit much power and all the tight stuff, but yeah, it was just hanging on to it all day.
Dennett rode into third place today with a time of 1:41.15. And clearly not missing a beat after nearly 12 months off from AORC, Gardner well and truly won first place in EW today. Finishing round 1 with a total time of 1:47.32, Gardner demonstrated her utter comfort on the WR450F and beta test tracks, putting a total of roughly 7 minutes between her and second place.
It was very tough out there today. Happy to keep it all together. I guess it's one of the preferred terrains for me. Other than the bog holes, I did get stuck out there and had to do a little bit of negotiating out on the track with the other riders because there was a few of us stuck at once, but you know, the boys were all really good. I battled quite a few of them today. We were on the Pro Expert track, which is a first for us girls. So it was good to see the level with the Pro Expert guys. It was really fun and I enjoyed it.
On the KTM, Ebony Nielsen rode comfortably into second place with a total time of 1:54.28.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome out there today. Great bike, loved every bit of it. The mud while I was out there I wasn't enjoying, but now that the day's over, like, I'm super stoked. It's going to be an event to remember.
Third place was clinched by KTM Off-road Racing's Emily Carlson, finishing today with a time of 2 hours and 52 seconds. Blue versus orange, Oz versus Sweden, badass versus badass. Both these women have competed successfully overseas. One of them is a world champion. Jessica Gardner and Emily Carlson are the fastest women off-road right now. So, who is going to make it to the top step come the end of the AORC season? And what can we do to encourage more women to get into enduro racing?
Being a world champion and having so many international 6-day titles, I guess you're recognised and everyone's watching you, everyone's running to see, okay, what was Jess's time? And obviously in the girls' competition, they're going to be wanting to know where my time was straight away. So I guess there's that little bit of extra pressure, we're going to call it.
My biggest highlights is probably when I got on the podium in the World Championship rounds, and then European Championship where I've been on the podium and also winning some rounds. And then of course the ALC and the 4-day win.
And in this last 2 years, it's really shown us how much we love the adrenaline rush of this sport and what it actually gives to us.
I don't think KTM has had a girl in the enduro on the team before, so that's really exciting to actually be the first one, and it's super good for women in the motorcycling sport.
It's a big change for her. Obviously, she's been on Yamaha for a long time, and now that she's gone to the other side, I think she's obviously new to the bikes as well, so it'll be interesting to see, especially that she's on the 350 now. It'll be interesting how she goes, but don't worry, I'll be still singing off my 250 to make sure it stays in front.
It's good that we're pretty similar in speed normally, and it's good that we got each other, that I push her and she pushed me, so it just makes us better riders all the time, that we can't stuff up because then we know the other rider is there.
I'm definitely still hungry for more. I guess when you say it's nearly my 7th title that I'm trying to achieve this year, I think my mum will feel like she's getting old, because and I feel like I'm getting old too.
Jessica Gardner have had too many wins now, and it's about time that I try to be up there again, because of course you want to beat the other rider. I've been the runner-up for too many years.
The next Jess Gardner, I think in-house here in the Yamaha JGR Ballads Off-Road team, our junior girl, she's only 14, and I'll tell you, I've been training with her outside of this race scene, and yeah, she's really moving. I think she's up around 4th, 5th outright with the junior boys, with the whole field.
Yeah, Ebony Nielsen can definitely interrupt, and I just think that's good because it keeps us on our toes. We need more girls that's up there with us. I think it's exciting because what we're after is that the class is going to get bigger. So I want all these other girls coming up, and she's awesome when it's technical. And yeah, she's normally very consistent, so I hope she does the whole series.
There's 10 junior girls out there this weekend, and it is really developing. And I think, yeah, there's a bright future ahead.
The highly competitive 450cc E2 class is where the most experienced and successful riders will be spending their AORC campaign. Pro MX MX1 champ Todd Waters and AORC and Hatter champ Josh Green. So, can Todd Waters take out his first ever AORC title, making history? Or is it going to be Josh Green, who brings home the bacon after Daniel Milners and Daniel Sanders have taken off?
This season's pretty important to me. My last championship was 2015. You know, I've been runner-up a lot of times now, and I'm sick of it, quite frankly. I've been trying real hard to win.
I feel like every dude that I beat, they should be like, man, what's going on here? Because honestly, like I'm riding out there, I don't even know where I need to go. I don't know things about sight laps. I walk the track, it goes in one ear, out the other.
So I guess there's a little bit of pressure on me now to do really well, and again, I'm getting old too, so I'm running out of time.
This is like almost like full drive and just trying to make it to the finish line.
I guess I'm just getting older and smarter, so I know what I have to do now. So instead of just doing too much of one thing, I'm doing lots of little things to sharpen my skills up, and I feel like I'm on top of everything with what I'm doing.
I got no pressure on myself, and I feel like, you know, I'm a bit of a rookie. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm trying to turn that mindset. Instead of racing 40 dudes, if I'm in the lead, I'm winning. Pretty easy to work out. Whereas this is really difficult. I've got demons in my brain. I get bogged and I'm trying to make time up.
I mean, to find that edge is really difficult. If we're racing for seconds at the end of the day, it's so much pressure on yourself, and you don't know where they are on the track because they are on the track at a different time to you. So honestly, I don't know. You just got to try and hit your marks every corner, every lap, every section. Just get everything right.
So my main competition is definitely Greenie. He's a veteran of the class. He knows his way around off-road. This is his bread and butter. So I'm definitely going to try and take that from him.
If Todd says he can take the championship out, I think I'm just going to have to beat him. I mean, we're not here to get second, either of us, and I know Toddy's a really great racer, and you know, I really like the guy as well, so it's going to be good to bang bars with him all year.
You know, Golden Beach, we got a win over him, and at Toowoomba the year before we did as well. So if the track suits me, definitely. I just got to try and learn quickly at what he's good at. He's definitely strengths are really technical, difficult tracks, so I need to sharpen up on that skill set.
Corin's making my life really difficult this weekend. Young punk, and yeah, he's definitely riding super well. He has been for a long time. I think I'm going to be able to beat him on tracks this year for sure, but he's proved us this track, he's proved us all weekend, he's really smashing us. So I've got some work to do for the next few rounds to get him back. You know, it's kind of exciting, the young guy and the old guy banging it out under the same team. So we'll see how we go.
I want to win every time I'm on the bike, and that's what I'm here to do. This is a learning experience for me, but at the same time, I'm trying to get the bike on the box long-term for championship, get those points, and when I'm on, I'm going for championship wins, that's for sure.
I want it pretty bad. It's just been a long time coming. I've had a really big season. I've had a successful years, decades of racing, but yeah, I really want to win. I want to get another title before I hang the boots up anyway.
I'd say to Josh Green, I wouldn't build the trophy cabinet before you get the trophies, mate.
Round one delivered us everything in terms of terrain, including nail-biting racing. The top riders were all within about 2 minutes of each other, and it was great to see some fresh faces on the podium like Corey McMahon in E1, and of course, who's back from overseas, Andy Wilkes in E3. And then there's young gun Kyron Bacon from Tassie, who topped the leaderboard. He's only 19 years old, but there's no rest for the wicked as we crack into round two. Wrap up of yesterday, you got P1. How are you feeling today, body-wise? It's been a while since you've gone racing like this.
Yeah, look, I'm going to say I'm sore. I think everyone's going to be sore after yesterday. It was pretty brutal, but I actually feel better than I thought I was going to. And I went and walked a test this morning, so I've freed me up a little bit. So, yeah.
You didn't walk it last night?
We walked one track last night. We're switching with the expert guys today, and that track was just out of control. You could barely even walk around it. So they're out there shortening that track at the moment. And then the second track that we're on today was one we were on yesterday. So I got up early and went for a quick walk this morning and had a look.
And so what are we in for today in terms of the tracks, how they've developed, and the new one that you're going to be on, which is the Ballard's MX Store?
Yeah, so the MX Store track, they've had to go and shorten and change. I don't know where it's going to be or what it's going to be, but it was rocky and technical and it was quite tight, and then it went out into just mud plains. So I'm assuming they're going to cut the mud plains and make a shorter version of that. So I'll see that in sight and lap. And then the beta test that we were on yesterday, it's a really cool test. They've had to change a couple little creek sections, but all in all, it's pretty similar to what we were riding, so it should be good.
And the dirt yesterday and the mud on the bikes, I heard it was pretty abrasive. Can you describe the kind of mud to me?
Yeah, so it's kind of like granity, like a sand, like it's quite coarse sand, and then it's just gnarly rock and dust, and then obviously you got the mud. So when that all mixes together, it's like a grinding paste, and yeah, it just scuffs everything to pieces. Bikes, gear, everything, graphics are just all trash. So not the nicest thing for first round, but that's off-road racing.
Excellent stuff. All right, good luck today.
Thank you.
Kyron, big day for you yesterday. You were pretty fast out there.
Oh yeah, wasn't expecting that one, but it's another day today, so we'll see what happens, I guess. But looking forward to getting out there and swing off it, I guess.
And I guess last night after the race finished and you got P1 and you topped the leaderboard, how did you feel about that? What does that kind of mean to you to get that kind of time amongst all of these incredible AORC winning pros?
Oh yeah, definitely. Wasn't expecting that one. There's some big, fast people out here, and Greenie and all that. They're the best of the best. It's pretty big achievement. So I'll put that one in the books. But no, I've still got a long way to go yet. But still got a full year of racing, and anything can happen yet. So we'll see what happens. But.
And how's the body feeling today? How are you feeling going into today? I mean, probably pretty confident, but it's been a while since we've been racing like this.
Yeah, definitely. Body's a little bit sore today. Last test of the day, hurt the knee a little bit, just kind of dabbed it a bit too much, but put a bit of deep heat on it and got a bit of stuff into me, and I'm ready to go again, so I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent stuff. All right, good luck. We'll see you at the finish line.
Cheers, thank you.
Todd, how you feeling today? I know yesterday was pretty rough.
Yeah, we're good, thanks, Kate. Judging on walking the track yesterday afternoon, last night, it's going to be an interesting day here. It's going to be another survival test, I'd say, and it's bog hole central. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting. I guess you just got to send it through the mud.
Yeah. And how's the body feeling? And are you learning a lot already from yesterday, from round one?
Yeah, I guess so. The top dudes, they're just sending it through the mud. And the crazy thing is, a lot of times yesterday I'd be going through a rut and then you just hit a hidden log in there. So there's a lot of factors that the most important thing that I found yesterday is to keep it upright for one. So try not to crash. But the real thing today is going to be trying not to get bogged. It's one thing to send it through the middle of the mud, but if you get bogged, you could DNF. So could be very costly. So it's going to be a very interesting test, this one.
As you can see behind me, the riders are lighting up for their sight lap. Now, this track is new today. They weren't on this track yesterday, but they've had to cut the track in half to only 4 or 5 kilometres because of the bog holes being so bad and so many bikes getting stuck there yesterday. Kyron Bacon cooked the competition, claiming both consecutive class wins in E1 as well as the fastest overall time of 50.04. The Yamaha Mountain Demon was seemingly unfazed by Cherrabah's challenging conditions, which started off muddy and churned into a dusty haze by lap 7.
Well, it's not sinking in just yet, but we'll go home tonight and definitely enjoy this one. But had a real good weekend this weekend. Just had 2 consistent days, wasn't on the ground too much, and just rode my own race really, and just tried to keep consistent and not make too many mistakes with such a technical track. But I'm stoked with my result, and I'm glad the hard work's paying off this year, and hopefully we can keep this going. And yeah, it's a long year still, so anything can happen yet, but yeah, I'm stoked.
Gas's Corey McMahon maintained his second place spot on the leaderboard for E1, finishing today with a total time of 52.10.
Yeah, I'll definitely take it. I'm pretty happy with how today went. A little bit more consistent across the board. Not really sure on the outrights yet, but hopefully up towards the end and improve on yesterday's fifth. So yeah, it was a really good day for me and the team. Mick Cruzy, my mechanic, was just unreal all day. We had a couple of bike issues, but he sorted them out between sprints, and yeah, kept us on our way.
Claiming the final spot on the podium was Yamaha's JGR Ballard's Off-Road Racing, Jeremy Carpentier, who clocked a time of 52.54.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging weekend. Shout out to the club, but they've done an awesome job today, like maintaining the track together, and it turned out unreal, and close racing with all the boys, so that was really interesting, yeah.
Special mention to Shop Yamaha Off-Road Racing's Blake Hollis, who fought tooth and nail but just couldn't break into the top 3 after 7 laps across 2 tests. E2 class was hotly contested in round 2, with the top 3 only separated by 45 seconds. Josh Green kicked off the 2022 season in style. Aboard his WRF, Green took out gold with a total time of 52.02.
Yeah, for sure. E2's always stacked, so the competition's always pretty fierce. And I had a little bit of dramas in my, I think it was second or third test. I derailed chain, so I was pretty frantic trying to get chain back on, and hopefully it stayed on for the rest of the lap, and thankfully it did, but I lost a fair bit of time. So the rest of the day was like, oh, catch up, how far have I got, like how much do I need to pull? So ended up with the win, so I'm stoked.
Waters finished second for the day with a 52.30.
Yeah, it was a 15th. It was nothing. So that's racing. It's definitely hard to tell if you're winning or losing out there. But overall, massive thanks to my guys. You know, Jason, he's made this all happen. Paul Barrick with the suspension, Max's tyres. The list goes on. T-Dub riding gear. I like your hat too. So yeah, but I enjoyed the first round. We land on the podium both races for a really horrible weekend for me. I'm stoked, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the championship.
Josh Green's teammate Michael Driscoll dropped back to third place on the E2 leaderboard with a total time of 52.43. Just behind Driscoll was Callum Norton in fourth and Fraser Higlett in fifth. Well, we can comfortably say that Andrew Wilch has returned from Europe with confidence and high speeds as he claims back-to-back class wins. The Husqvarna rider clocked a total time of 51.15, claiming gold ahead of Modal Pirelli Sherco's Jonty Reinders.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty blown away. Like it's awesome to put that hard work in over the off season and then see the rewards finally. So, no, it's a cool feeling. Like after having a few setbacks in the years prior, it's really nice to sort of keep working at it and then see something in return. And just really looking forward to building on this and starting off this season really strong.
With a total time of 52.36, Grinders settled for second, while KTM's Stefan Gronquist took out third with a time of 53.37. Every year, this absolute speed demon proves he's completely comfortable battling it out with the top dogs. Hagi rode right into the first place today with a total time of 54 minutes, enjoying a well-deserved consecutive EJ class win. No less a demon behind the handlebars, Riley McGilvray was roughly 1.5 seconds behind Hagen, settling into second place with a total time of 54.01. Third place was awarded to William Dennett, who clocked 55.52 after 7 laps. 12 months off? You couldn't tell as Jess Gardner asserted dominance in EW all weekend. With a total time of 1:01.25, Gardner was well ahead of her competition by nearly 5 minutes.
Yeah, today's racing was really challenging. Obviously, we're pretty tired from yesterday, so we had to wake up, stretch it out this morning, and really dig deep today. And obviously, look for a lot of lines around the bog holes and stuff like that as well, because it was quite muddy out there. There was 80% of the track was prime time, but yeah, there was that 20% that was quite challenging. So really happy to put it on the top step again for the Yamaha JGR Ballads Off-road team and everyone who supports us. So yeah, couldn't be more proud and really looking forward to another solid year.
KTM Off-Road Racing's Emily Carlson claimed second with a total time of 1:06.10, and the podium was filled out by Ebony Nielsen on the KTM, clinching third place with a total time of 1:09.20. Wow, what an epic weekend. Rounds 1 and 2 did not disappoint. Our world-class athletes are battered and bruised, but it's a solid reminder of just how tough and exciting this style of racing is. And in true AORC spirit, we head into rounds 3 and 4 with new energy and fire in our belly. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.